The dynamics inside of families can be so complex. That's why an hour in the counselor's office, 15 minutes talking to the psychiatrist. These people cannot even begin to wrap their minds around what's going on. There just aren't easy solutions when it comes to addiction. Addiction is a family disease. It's complicated. So what I want to say from what I've seen is there can be people who exquisitely take responsibility for themselves and everything that goes on around them. They are constantly uh, trying to figure out what they did wrong. And they're easy to spot. So their loved one who's caught up in addiction, they've got their number and they know how to play this card. So the addict will accuse and accuse and accuse, and that person that's hyper responsible will just be dizzy, trying to sort it out. So they'll just come up from their little hole and attack, 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 and the person is dumbfounded, baffled, bewildered, hurt, whatever, but all caught up inside of their head based on the words that someone spewed in their direction. I, you know, I wouldn't even say on the other end of the spectrum. It's also quite common to see people that are just truly depressed. May have been depressed for years. It's that whole postpartum depression. Well, it's been postpartum depression for 30 years. I mean, it just really profoundly sad. And the addict may not attack, attack, attack like the first scenario. They may say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I disappointed you, I'm so sorry." And sort of there's this Eeyore quality to it, and that Eeyore quality is a form of mirroring um, what they see and what they've been exposed to in a pretty profound way. When I look at these situations, I wonder, like, okay, is anybody really alive here? Hey, mom isn't, child isn't, adult child isn't. Like, what? This is like, there's a level of bondage here that is so extreme. When you look at it from the outside, it's overwhelming. And there's countless other examples and things going on. So it's important to realize that whatever reaction you're seeing to the addict, there's a prior action underneath it. There's just a lot going on here. And, including someone with a lot of power in the family system that's using their power to control every single individual in that family. And they know what they're doing. That's where you see, uh, the alcohol comes in the house. And so that was a little bit challenging to pull off, back in the day. But now we can provide the internet and electronics and phones and all sorts of different little widgets, and look like our hands are clean when the motives can be quite maniacal and, calculating. So please know, this is why you come to a group. This is why you need a sponsor. Untangling the web of lies is a challenge. Oh, and the word lie came up. Okay, so remember, frequently I'll hear someone say, oh, ask me, how do I know when the addict is lying? How do I figure it out? Please tell me. And I think, well, every time they're talking, when they're speaking, they're lying, particularly if you're an enabler. It's all a lie. I mean, I would assume they're lying. They're lying to themselves, they're lying to you. If they were telling the truth, now that would be a surprise. It can happen, but typically no, it's all manipulation. And People have a hard time. They're like, whoa, well, that changes the whole picture. So again, do not underestimate the complexity of this particular addiction. Wow, it's huge. So subtle, sneaks in on families. You don't even know what hit you. Spouses, oh my gosh, you're worn out for a reason. July 1st. Most of us have spent far too much time feeling badly about who we are and what we have done. We may have been harshly criticized by others, or we may have simply lost perspective and become overly hard on ourselves. Today, we have an opportunity to stop that kind of self-destructive thinking. Isn't it time we allowed ourselves to feel good about ourselves? It takes time for old doubts to fade and wounds to heal. Self-confidence comes slowly, but it grows with practice. We can begin by acknowledging that we do have positive qualities. For those of us who have negative, self-critical thoughts running through our heads all day long, we can make an extra effort to counteract them with positive thoughts. For every defect we identify, we can also name an asset. Some of us find it helpful to list 5 or 10 things about our day that we have a right to feel good about before we go to sleep. With practice, we learn to treat ourselves with gentleness and compassion. We have many admirable qualities, and we owe it to ourselves to let them shine. Today's reminder. Today, I will make an effort to remember that I am a terrific human being. And here's the quote. Everything there is but lovin' leaves rust on your soul. And that's from Langston Hughes. So this mirroring, remember, it's important to reflect on what you're mirroring back to yourself, what you're mirroring to others, and what you're reflecting back onto yourself. Blessings on your day.